I never imagined we'd get a sim racing chassis that's made to mimic a real-life go-kart, but here we are. Today, we're looking at the Go Kart Plus from Next Level Racing. In this video, you'll see me unbox and build the entire rig from start to finish, including the monitor stand, and I'll let you know what I think after I test it out in KartKraft. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today is gonna be pretty special because I am building, as you can see, a new setup, but it's gonna be quite different from the setup that I already have up there because I am going with the Go Kart Plus by Next Level Racing. I have always loved go-karting since I was a kid. That's kind of how I got into racing and just into cars. That was the first thing I ever did on the track, and I still love it to this day. I still go quite often actually to the go-kart track, and I thought that would be so fun to have one at home, just to, you know, have some fun and be able to invite some friends and their kids to try it out. So I'm gonna be building this with the monitor stand from Next Level Racing as well. They were super nice to send me this to try it out, and with it I'm gonna go with the Moza gear. So I have here the Moza CRP racing pedals. They're kind of the direct competitor for the Fanatec V3 that I have on my setup, and they are getting kind of old, so I'm super excited to try this out. And I have with it the R12 direct drive wheelbase, and at 12 Newton meter, this type of wheelbase should fit perfectly with this rig. And I got the Kia steering wheel. It might not be the best one for go-karting, but I want to try it out, and I'll see if I switch it with my Fanatec gear that is on my TRX rig. So let's get started and open up this box. Alright guys, I think we have the seat right here. I am so excited for this. That's gonna be so fun. Look at this, it's a real go-kart seat. It feels pretty realistic and actually more comfortable than I expected. I really like this Alcantara on the bottom. It feels really nice. There's a nice padding under the butt, so it's really nice. I like it. Okay, so this should be the box with most of the pieces for the rig. I'm actually glad this is just a go-kart rig because it should be a lot easier and faster to install than my other rigs. Okay, so that's all the pieces, so only those two boxes and the seat. So I'm gonna take this upstairs, open them up, and start building this rig. Opening the boxes, everything is well packaged and protected with styrofoam and packing foam. The rig also comes with accessories for optional add-ons, such as the butt kicker mount and caster wheels. Holding the parts in hand for the first time, the product feels high quality and has a nice finish to it with Next Level Racing branding throughout. Guys, how cool is this? I have a little bumper for my go-kart. That is so awesome. Alright, so we have everything laid out here. As you can see, it's a much smaller frame than your usual rig. It should be fairly easy to install because there are only a few pieces. It looks super cool though. I love the bumpers, I love the seat, and there is some super cool branding here on the side of the rig, so I can't wait to see it all together. But before I start building it, I want to give a huge thanks to Next Level Racing for sending me this rig. I am beyond excited to try it out, so again, thank you so much. They also sent me some awesome gear, a few of these boxes, and I will be giving away a few of them to random commenters and subscribers of the channel. So if you are not yet subscribed, make sure to click that button below and have a chance to win some of this awesome gear. So I've got the instruction manual ready. Let's get started. As the rig is composed of mostly just a few big pieces that bolt into each other, the installation process is very straightforward and rapid. All the hardware is labeled and tightly attached, so you do not need to worry about losing anything. As for most rigs, the trickiest part is the installation of the seat, especially if you are doing it by yourself. However, since it is pretty light, it can still be done easily. The entire process only took about an hour. Guys, how cool is this? Look at that. It actually looks like a go-kart. That's pretty crazy. I'm so happy with it. It was super easy to install as well. Huge props to Next Level Racing because the manual, the instructions were super clear. I was able to install everything from the first try. There was nothing that I was wondering where it was going or why it wasn't, fitting right. So really huge props. Honestly, for like just that kind of tiny rig, I'm super impressed with it. I think it's gonna be super sturdy, actually. Like, it feels strong, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. If you're actually wondering how much this thing costs, you can find it on Next Level Racing's website for $5.99. It includes the seat, so I think it's not a bad price, honestly. The only thing that you have to add is the monitor stand, which I have right behind me, and that's what I'm gonna be working on right now. The next step is building the monitor stand. I went with the light freestanding monitor stand that can support up to a 55-inch screen. It cost only $99 and is perfectly adapted for my Acer 34-inch curved monitor. The stand came with various screws options for different types of monitors, which made the install of the screen very easy. It only required using spacers, then screwing the plate onto the back of the monitor. This is it. The rig is completely done with the monitor stand. I have the monitor, the Acer 34-inch ultra-wide monitor. It's a curved monitor as well. Everything was just super straightforward. I think it took about 2 hours for the entire thing, so super fast, and it looks super cool, so very happy with it. So I think it's time that we install all the gear on this, and as it is a Go Kart rig, we have to try it in the proper game in KartKraft. As the rig is compatible with all the Moza gear, the process was very smooth and did not require any additional adjustments. It only took a few minutes to install everything. Quick update guys, as I have everything installed now on the rig. I have my Moza steering wheel and wheelbase as well as the pedals and my monitor installed, so all I have to do now is connect everything to the computer and install the game. So I just installed the Moza software, which is the Moza Pit House. It was super easy. As soon as I launched the software, it basically asked me to activate the gear, and everything is working properly. As you can see on the software, you can adjust everything that you want on the steering wheel, even the colors. Same for the pedals. You have each of the pedals here. Obviously I don't have the clutch right now, but you can change the output curves for the brake and the throttle. You can add a dash, a hub, shifter, but I'll go through all the details of that later on. So yeah, I think I'm pretty much set up already, so we're gonna be able to try out everything in the game. And if you have any questions about the Moza bundle, I'm gonna make a specific dedicated video for it, so don't hesitate to ask me anything in the comments below, and I will make sure to answer in the next video. This was my first time driving a go-kart in a sim. KartKraft is a lot of fun, although there is a learning curve, and just as in real life, it requires a very different driving style to get the most pace out of the kart. It is all about momentum and scrubbing off the least amount of speed possible. As fun as drifting is in a go-kart, it definitely makes you lose time. I need more practice, but for a first session, I am definitely enjoying myself. Next Level Racing really did great on the immersion factor, as this rig really feels like the cockpit of a kart. The Moza gear performs well and feels great. I am impressed with how plug and play everything is. I literally hooked up everything in less than a minute, downloaded the software, and it all started up and was immediately recognized without issues. I will be making a full review on the Moza bundle in an upcoming video, so don't forget to subscribe if you do not want to miss it. Alright guys, so now that I've tested the setup, I can give you my first impressions, and I have to say this is definitely a solid rig. It is very tiny, or it looks very tiny, but it is holding the Moza, the R12, so it's 12 Newton meter, which is kind of the high range I think for this rig. And it's totally fine, it's not moving around, it's not shaking, I can't feel really any flex, even when the force feedback was super high at the beginning. However, in terms of the size of the rig, it's obviously very low, but in terms of the length, I think it is actually as long as my TR160S, might be even a little bit longer when you count the bumpers. Obviously the look is awesome, but you don't get any kind of space saving really with this rig. When it comes to the seat, it is comfortable, but I have to say it is on the firmer side. It is obviously made to be, you know, like a go-kart seat, so it is smaller than your typical you know, GT seat. It is quite tiny. I think people that are a little bit bigger might not fit quite well in that seat. So to me, this seat is definitely very narrow. Let me show you actually how I fit in it. You'll see that it's perfect for me, but I can imagine someone that's taller, a little bit, you know, larger, that in terms of the arms, it would probably be kind of annoying. Like, I fit inside the seat, but I can imagine someone like kind of like hitting their arms on the side of it. So I'm not sure exactly like what kind of people can really fit in that seat and feel, you know, as comfortable as I do in here. For children, that's probably gonna be perfect. And when it comes to adjustment, let me show you what you can do. So first, the seat comes up and back, but it doesn't go that far back. I mean, as you can see, I'm all the way back now, and this is, you know, with my arms. Obviously in a go-kart, you're usually kind of close to the steering wheel, so I think it's fairly accurate, but still, it doesn't leave much room to go back. There are also different options for the seat. So as you can see here, there are 4 different holes. So if you choose the last one, the seat will be more angled and slightly higher, which might also be a little bit more comfortable for this type of setting. Then you can adjust also the wheelbase and the steering wheel. So basically this column here goes up and down. I have it almost all the way up here because I felt like it would be too much in the way if I had it more down. But you can also adjust it and tilt basically the plate here with these adjustments right here. So if you put the entire thing more down, you can tilt it a little bit up, and I think it would still be fairly comfortable. And then the last thing that you can adjust are the pedals. It's really easy because you just have to loosen those knobs on both sides. When all the knobs are loosened up, you can really easily just push or bring it forward. So as you can see, there is a pretty big range, which allows obviously for different size people to be able to fit in this rig. It takes only a few seconds, so I really like that about this rig. You can also adjust the height of the pedals. So if you remove just the back knobs here, you can see that there are different settings on which you can put the base plate for the pedals. To have a more realistic position for the go-kart, it's probably better to have them a little bit higher like this and have the steering wheel also a little bit angled. The other thing that you can adjust is the monitor stand. As you can see here, I have it almost all the way down, but you can basically lift this part all the way. There's a lot of different options. I think I really like it low because the seat is so low. I think you kind of have to for this rig. So yeah, if you have this rig, you probably want to put it at the last or second to last notch. But overall, it is, I think, a great stand. It is pretty sturdy. It's not moving, and I like kind of how broad it is. I think the monitor feels very safe on here. So this is what you get for $600. I think it is a fair price because you have the rig, it comes with the seat, and it comes with all the accessories that you might need. So you will also get some wheels. So if you want to set up the rig on wheels so you can move it around, you are able to. It comes with the butt kicker mount as well. The monitor mount is an add-on, but it is optional. If you're using like a TV or something else, you might not need to buy it. And I know Next Level Racing is also going to release a direct mount for the monitor stand that will directly fit on the rig itself, so you won't need to have anything additional, which might save you a little bit of space if you're worried about that. The real advantage of this rig is that it is suitable for kids as well as adults. Anyone 3'7" or higher can fit in this rig, so you can really have your kids or your friends' kids come over and play. And if you wanted to jump in after them, you still could by just adjusting a few things, moving the pedals away. So it is incredible for that. I had my nephew come over not long ago and he really wanted to try my sim racing setup, and unfortunately it was just too short. Even with the pedals super close, the wheel as close as possible, it was just not made for that. He was still too young. This is why this rig would be perfect for him. He would be so happy, and he would be able to have fun. And that's really what the offering of this rig is. What you have here is almost its own category. It's really unique because you are getting the rigidity of a regular aluminum rig, but at the same time you get that flexibility and the fact that any kid can fit in that seat, and you also get just that awesome look. I don't think there is anything that can match kind of the excitement when you jump in this seat. You really feel like you are in a go-kart, and I think for kids it is so much more exciting than those kind of lounge looking seat that you can get for a lot cheaper. And especially if the kids are already into go-karting, into racing, and they really want to have more experience and get better, this is perfect because it can also grow with them. You can add a butt kicker, you can add a motion platform to increase the immersion level. I think this is the perfect starting point for your kids until they're able to move on to a full-sized aluminum rig. So that's gonna be it for this video. Please let me know what you think about this rig and this setup in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. But in the meantime, I'm gonna have a little bit more fun, and I'll see you in the next video.